আমি এমগং সংগম আছে DAYO দি এতিয়া ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট কৰি আছে আজি আমি খান পুলিশ লগত মিলাই কিনা preaching the cap sensitization on community policing কৰি কিনা আজি program একটা লৈ আছে দাদি আমি খান লগা objective তো আৰু আমি খান লবলি মন যা লগা তো DAYO লগা থিম DAYO লগা মটো দি বেস কৰি কিনা আমি খান এটা অর্গানাইজ কৰিছে DAYO লগা মটো তো unity and justice এইটো কাৰণে আমি খান পয়লা পৰা grievance cell bi ekta khuli kina ase ami khan eto continue kori ase holibi without knowing the law without knowing the knowledge of law we cannot take the law into our hands eto karone ami khan police logot commissioner logot request korise taibura most willingly tai do organize kori dise aro taibura officers khan expert khan ami khan ge badaise aji taibura mohan ge tahan officers kambura mohan ge sensitize kori ase awareness program di ase I hope eto more interaction this kind of interaction will bring more unity and bridge the gap between police in the community aro in the long run eto pura ami khan society karone peace hobna ki eniga eto laga bhavana ase and without knowing the law ami khan sometimes we go overboard so eto karone ami khan ki sensitize koribi koi kina ami khan eto takan ki request kora ji jai ase
and kahani na chinti sale hor boli kura jamde damur matha khandu khali jabo khali hate jabo choto khani anda buthibo iniga police bi like that ta khani kam koribo ami hi reward paise itu ase so this tai kam bhal kam kora karne I got this SSCP itu laga award pa lagai ase otherwise I don't deserve it so the credit goes to my subordinate I come tirelessly any kam kore thaka pora naam do since I was posted here as a CP that's why I got this award so once again amra kage bishi thanks to ase I'm very grateful to our DAYO community our DAYO members and especially our community you see today's afternoon since our officers are here to give this lecture or discussion so I will not take much time but as a police and as a law enforcing agency I want to appeal to our community especially you are very fortunate I should say to be born as in our community bishi manuki if we see any bira laga jaga side to bishi jaga de ATV we are still in so many areas our Nagaland even in Nagaland already in some area is still very backward in areas communication and then I was narrating this story how blessed we are without Christianity amakam to letu itibi eti head hunting de thakna itu laga hisab de but this itu Christianity amakan Nagaland de ahigina that's why we have itu up to this stage aji amakan itu holding nika conference logo seminar logo parabi to be this is all because of the God's blessing and this year since we are celebrating 150 years of the Christianity amakan aga mati de itu aha laga itu hokas so with this I think at least we have to do something one important social issue in our society is unity in Nagaland as we all know that we don't have even a single platform where all the Nagas can sit together and discuss about the law and order and any individual organization let it be the Chagasam public organization or Ausidem or whatever tribal organization it is only working for that particular tribe it was Because as a when we have a meeting, 70% is we discuss only about the Chakasang welfare. And if we see, say for example, NPSC result election, then first we'll try to locate Chakasang Manu Asana 9. In NPSC result, out of 10, Chakasang Tutta election, I to Sana result Parasa. As if the others are not another. This is the selfishness we have because of this tribal Amakam. Isor Kora blessing na, curse na, kiase, but inikalaga etas. So this, any tribal organization, if you don't by night, we have to vote for our own community welfare. So we need to have a common platform. Itu lagado Naga Manu society de itu lagahe dom lagas. Yes, we will have our own tribal organization also, but a common platform where we can discuss about the law and order issues. This is very important. That is unity. And then this, I'll just cite one example. Our society, though it is not the topic, is not very relevant with today's community policing, but this is affecting their society, and because of this, our community and then law and order is also, it will disturb the curriculum. Say just one example. We talk about the extortion. We said that all of extortion, including the police or whatever other department also doing the extortion. But if we seriously think about the extortion, yes, some political group or some department also may be doing like this, but just one extortion during election. This is also one serious issue we have to handle. Because suppose if one constituency, there are two candidates, and each candidate has to spend 20 crores. That is minimum. But any constituency, any credible candidate, they are spending that much. In some advanced area, it must be double or triple of that also. But we are just taking, say, 20 crores, one example. Then if there are two candidates, serious two candidates, that means 40 crore. And 40 crore into 60 constituency is coming around 2,400 crores. And this is also can be called the extortion, because we say that unless you give this, I'm not going to vote.
Saying that community policing is a philosophy, it's not a program. What is that philosophy? It rests on the belief that the police and the community must work together to overcome any social or legal or law and order situations in their community. Now, when we talk about a community, what is a community? We have to start with that, isn't it? Tadibai start our thinking, the concept of community policing. Community to ki ase in Naga context or in the world context. Now, all of us sitting here together today is a community. Community comprising of the police department and the DAYO, right? Action, like DAYO. Action against antisocial elements in the society. Human rights activists, and the NGOs which are working for women or children or any other issues. Next is place, like Dimapur. Dimapur is a community. In Dimapur itself, are we different types of communities, like our community, Sema community. Again, within that community, different types of colonies are there, different villages are there. So all these are the inherent communities which are there in such type of community, that is depending on the place. Now practice, next type of community, doctors association, okay, then police association, all these are communities, okay. Then administration also, they have their own community. So that are some of the examples, and these are the communities based on profession or same activities that they carry on. Like for example, hospitals also, then schools also. Now, the last For example, refugees because of displacement. And again, communities formed because of insurgency. Communities formed because of terrorism. So all these are some types of examples. And this is just a broad concept. Okay. Now, see, according to my perspective or society's perspective, who are the participants in a community? Local government people, then civic and business leaders, public and private agencies, schools, residents, churches for our society, churches. So these are the some of the examples, participants as a community. Now see, concept of simple, I said community policing is a philosophy. Now see, community policing in practical terms. Every citizen is a policeman without uniform, and every policeman is a citizen in uniform. That is a basic concept. Okay, I think all of us can understand that point. And that philosophy is bringing out a policeman out of every citizen and citizen out of a policeman. Now, when we talk about community policing, there are two aspects which can never be separate. First is community, next is police. Without police, community won't exist, and without community, policing won't exist. These two aspects should always go together. So that is the concept which we should go forward with. Now, when these two come together, that is the community and the police, we call it as community policing. And what will it do? It will go into proactive approach so that they can ensure the safety and security of the citizens. So this is the basic concept. Okay, ini iman details going to go because I think agi coalition na itu philosophy ase kian bani buji lagi na. Next, see, community policing is very dynamic. Okay, ekta community policing to alag hoga. Like for example, Nagaland laga community policing to other states like Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, tadi apply no. Tagan laga bhi mga lot apply no. Because our culture is different. Mga laga culture ko alag ase, mga laga customs kan alag ase, traditions, beliefs, police system, so alag ase. So community policing to every place it varies, and especially mga laga village area, there it's very different. If we compare it to the city as Dimapur compared to the village police, community policing though, it will be different. And like I said, community policing though, it philosophy though, it will go on evolving. It's not if the offense is non-bailable and cognizable. Non-bailable and cognizable means very serious offenses. Murder case, rape case, okay, kidnapping case. If you as a public or if you as a youth organization, you have any information, then you can detain that person. The condition is that immediately he has to be taken in front of a police officer, otherwise it will become illegal arrest. Okay. So immediately police officer or police station that is the condition. There are some misconception about these sections, but we'll talk about this later in the technical session. Now, section 100 CRPC Kuina say, if a police officer avuni IV, avuni idu pusiti colony, avuni so manuki janingi na se, avuni muilot aigena search de modo purubuli lagibo, itu for identify purubuli lagibo. Na, inaga police pro budishi kulido avuni chabuli lagibo. If you deny this, then you have committed an offense under section 187 IPC. So all these sections that I'm mentioning, idu punishment bhi as it idu nukura na. So these are mandatory things that a public or a person has to do in a Gaza. Now this is like just two sections from MV Act, Motor Vehicles Act laga hua hai 134 there, section 134. That आजकल की होए हाईवे लगाई दो बिशी की बात हो जाए हिट एंड रन बिशी हो जाए ना गाड़ी दी लगा लगे वो पोला ना ड्राइवर का तो सी has made it mandatory that any driver, Tayabra Inaga Kiba accident he has the responsibility to take him to the nearest hospital, medical attention. Section is up. Now, under 134 again, doctors come, they were so reluctant to take such kind of cases, accident case or kiki cases. But law has made it mandatory that police come nahi doctor has to give immediate medical attention. Okay, these are just some rules which you have to be aware about. Now,
Motion. Top JEE and NEET Coaching Institute of Kota is now in Dimapur. Faculties study materials and test series from Kota directly. Now students from Nagaland can raise their preparation level right here in Dimapur. Admissions open now.